hello, Stephen.
John?
Sit down, Mr. Weber. Thanks very much for coming, Stephen. I thought we should talk. I'd like to know exactly where your client has been since he was released on bail.
Well, why don't you ask his client? I mean, I just assume not be here, but since I am, why don't you ask me whatever it is that you want to know?
I'm sorry, Mr. Weber. I thought you were so insistent on having Mr. Cord handle your case, you'd want him to speak for you.
Lee, that's what I'm here for.
Well, I want to know what I'm here for. How come he's got the right to pull me in again? I've got bail, haven't I?
That's what we're here to discuss.
What do you mean?
Lee!
Now, wait a minute. What does he mean? Now, the judge gave me bail. He doesn't have the right to take it away from me, does he?
He didn't say he was going to do anything. Now, just sit down and keep quiet. Whatever you say in here can come right back at you in court.
I told you I have nothing to hide.
And I told you to sit down. All right, John. My client has a record of harassing Allison McKenzie. Is that what's on your mind?
Exactly.
And you think he may have had something to do with her disappearance?
Well, let's say it wouldn't come as a surprise.
Are you prepared to make a charge?
No.
Then I don't see any reason for my client to make a statement.
Well, I do. Now, I'm tired of being blamed for things that I have nothing to do with. If he wants to know where I've been since I got out of that flea trap downstairs, I'll tell him.
I don't want you to make a statement, Lee. Do you understand? There are no charges against you.
Oh, yeah. Well, you take a look at him. He's already decided that I've messed up that Allison McKenzie chick somehow. He's got a king-size picture of me pushing her off a bluff, like he thinks I shoved your sister. Well, I'm not interested in dying, counselor. And the way I see it, the way he's thinking right now, well, it doesn't make me look like a good risk for an insurance policy, does it?
Neither will putting your own head on a block. Now, listen, Lee, legally, you don't...
I know my legal rights. I can read the papers. I can read his mind. And I'm going to straighten him out. Now, you want to know where I went when I left here. Okay. When I left that jail, I went home. I tore my motorcycle down because I had to think. And when I'm using my hands, I think better. So I tore the whole motor down, cleaned it, set the timing, and I took it out on the old beach road and I tested it.
What time was that?
I don't know, later in the afternoon.
Can anybody corroborate your story, Mr. Weber?
Only one person, John. Allison McKenzie.
Then you did have some contact with her.
You heard what the man just said?
And that was late this afternoon?
No, earlier this evening.
When you drove out on the old beach road, did you expect to see Allison McKenzie?
Look, when he got me out on bail, he told me not to look for any trouble. And believe me, I didn't even try to look for any. The only thing I expected to see down there were seagulls and sand crabs.
But you did see Allison McKenzie?
Yeah, on the wharf, on the way back. Look, why do you have to act like you're dragging everything out of me? I told you I'd tell you the whole story.
He only had a brief conversation with her, John. No threats, just a conversation.
Oh, did you just happen to be on the wharf, too?
He told me about the encounter.
Exactly as it happened?
I think so.
Well, Stephen, for a man of your faith, I think you missed your true calling.
Hey, doesn't my telling you all this buy me anything in your eyes? I mean, why would I talk about it at all if I had done something to her?
Father Cord here doesn't seem to think you would.
Well, I wouldn't. Now, I didn't do anything to her. I just tried to talk to her for a few seconds, but she didn't make any sense. She acted like she was high on something. You know what I mean?
Mr. Weber, I'm not really interested in your interpretation of Allison McKenzie's state of mind. What I am interested in is your version of your movements from the time you were released from this jail.
My version? You're not going to believe anything I tell you, are you?
You're wrong, Mr. Weber. I believe you did see Allison McKenzie.
Now, listen. I told you the truth. I didn't touch that dizzy dame. I didn't like her. But I didn't do anything to her.
You say you didn't like her. Is there any particular reason you use the past tense?
Well, I'm not a college professor. I didn't even graduate from high school. So I don't know what tense I used. All I know is that I am telling you the truth.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to demand a bail hearing right now.
You asked me to tell you about it, and I told you.
Judge Boysen's been working late. I'll ask him if he can see us.
Fowler?
Shut up, Lee.
What side are you on, anyway?
Just going to ask you the same thing. You did everything but turn the lock on your cell just now.
Are you trying to tell me that he can put me back in jail?
Well, if he doesn't, I will. Look, Lee, I took your case, and I'm on it. But if you want me to stay on it, you're going to start doing everything I tell you to do when I tell you.
I only told him the truth.
Oh, is that right? Well, you think about that while you're lying on your cot downstairs. All you have to do is sound off again like you just did to Fowler. And you'll be lucky if you get out of this mess. Anything short of a life sentence. I just hope that Allison is all right. But if she's not, they've already got enough against you to make you answer to another charge.
You know, there's something that's not right here. And I think that it's...
Don't, Lee. Don't think. It's only going to be trouble for both of us. Now just keep your mouth shut and try to look intelligent.
The judge can see us now.
Mike.
I was just on my way inside, and, well, it's kind of obvious. Gee.
There's no word on Allison, is there?
No, I don't think so. I suppose if there was, the officer here at the desk.
I asked him. I don't know why I'm asking you, but she's on my mind.
Yeah. I was just on my way in to see John Fowler. You'd think you'd know better. Running a guy out on the loose like that on the streets, a guy with a mentality, Lee Weber, and think you'd know something like that would happen.
Do you really think Lee did something to Allison?
Well, ever since your husband volunteered to defend him, I think he believes anything he can do, he can get away with.
Stephen told me you were upset that he accepted the case.
Upset. Look, does Stephen really think Lee Weber's innocent? Does he?
Mike, please try to understand Stephen.
I can't. I don't know that kind of understanding isn't in me, that's all. I'm sorry.
You and Stephen have been such good friends.
I know. And if Ann were alive today, we'd just be one big happy family. Just one big happy family. Well, if I find out anything about Allison, I'll let you know.
Mike, I've been thinking. If I'd have just said something to Allison when I saw her on the square, maybe she wouldn't be missing now. I would have seen if she were upset or afraid. But I didn't say anything to her. She had that look about her. So I just waltzed on by, wrapped up in my own little world.
Seems like all of us have that feeling of guilt for all the things we didn't say to Allison.
Hello, Mike.
Well, where's Weber?
Just had a hearing. Judge Boysen revoked his bail.
What, you mean he's back in jail?
Yes.
Well, I hope they throw away the key.
Would you care to join us for a nightcap?
No, thanks. I don't think we have anything to talk about.
I guess not.
Stephen. Drop this case, will you?
Why?
Because a psychopath like Lee Weber doesn't deserve to have the chance at an acquittal that a fine legal mind like yours might give him.
Well, that's quite a statement, Mike. In one breath, you've managed to present yourself as a qualified psychiatrist and a justice of the Supreme Court.
Steve, he murdered your sister.
Stick to medicine. I don't tell you whom you should operate on and whom you should let die.
Come on, don't give me all that professional garbage, will you please? We're simply talking about the fact that you're trying to save the life of the man that killed your sister. That's all. Let Lee Weber get what's coming to him.
He will get what's coming to him. A fair trial.
Oh, fair trial. That's a good one. I can't object to that, can I? I mean, if I do, then I'm some kind of a wild-eyed radical, eh? I mean, then I'd object about the momism and and the flag and good old apple pie. Now, come on, will you, Steve? Don't you have any emotion at all? Are you so cold-blooded and egotistical that you can't think of anything but your own future? You can't even remember the horrible things that happened to your sister?
I haven't forgotten how horrible it was, and I never will forget.
But you're going to come in here, in this courtroom, and still defend Lee Weber.
He's entitled to a defense.
The best he can get?
The best he can get.
And that means you.
I'm the one he's asked for.
Well, why? Why you? You!
Because when I sit at that defense table with Lee Weber, it will seem like an announcement that I believe he's innocent. And he's smart enough to know what weight that will carry.
And still you're going to sit there.
He's entitled to a defense.
Say that just one more time. One more time.
Mike.
You know, it's remarkable how many people around here want to take a poke at me. Now, if it's going to make you feel any better, join the crowd.
Preview from the continuing story of Peyton Place.
The game is over, Sandy. Tell me the truth.
I don't want to talk about it.
What do you want me to do? Push you around, treat you like he did? Is that the only thing you understand?
I'm not interested in his statement. I've got to face him.
You can read his statement, Elliot, and that's all.
The first step on that rocky road of connection is your visit to the wharf today and night.